Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming to our Dharma assembly celebrating the birthday of Maitreya Bodhisattva. It's nice to see you. You know, I don't know about you, but today I'm in a good mood. Maybe because it's the end of our winter cheese. It has been a long 11 weeks. But was well worth it, because every year is a new learning experience. This morning too, I looked at the ceremony book, and I was reminded that Maitreya Bodhisattva is known for what? Anyone? I gave you a clue already. Did you read the handbook? He's known for, quickly, okay, you missed it. No prizes for you. He's known for his kindness samadhi. Isn't it interesting? Of all the things bodhisattvas do, he decided to specialize in giving kindness. Okay? And it was enlightening to me because that's what people of wisdom, with wisdom, do. They give kindness. Why? Because I feel it's particularly useful for us, especially our times, our places where we are, because it is exactly the opposite of what most people do in our times, in our places. Everyone is so selfish, so preoccupied, so determined to get what they want. Okay? In order, in the search of happiness, in the name of happiness. And what people don't realize that if you want to be happy, you want to have more joy in life, you begin by giving joy, by giving kindness. Isn't that interesting? It's so fundamental to life that people are misguided. So that's why I learned today. It makes me happy that for next year, I resolve to be kinder, which is not hard to do, I'm told. Okay. Number one, is kindness. You are right. Okay. And what else? Another interesting thing I learned this morning is I found out that a lot of people aspire to be reborn to his Pure Land in the Tushita heaven, the inner court. That's considered to be a Pure Land. I didn't realize that a lot of people wanted to be born up there, like Venerable Xu Yun, and others apparently, quite a few. And I didn't know that. And I'm not quite sure how they were born up there. But for us, in our neck of the woods, we prefer to be reborn to the Western Bliss Pure Land, aren't we? Don't get so excited, okay? Because it's slightly better than his Pure Land. Now, Maitreya's Pure Land is not as good as Amitabha's Buddha's Pure Land. So I imagine it's a little bit easier to be born to Maitreya Bodhisattva's Pure Land, Tushita heaven, inner court, than Amitabha Buddha's inner court. Okay, I hope to go there once I'm done here, because I can't wait to finally ride in my red chariot in the Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land. Since you're not giving me a red car here, I'm requesting to have a red chariot back there, over there, okay? Hint, hint. Okay, so what else? Since it's also the end of the lunar year, I decided to look back a little bit, and I'm also quite happy because it has been a very, very productive year for us. You don't see it in terms of more temples, more people coming, my becoming more famous or anything at all, unfortunately. But I measure success and accomplishments in you and how many of you have improved. Do we have a Google slide? Anyone remember? I asked for a Google slide preparing that we asked Xian Fa to help prepare the comparative merits of making offerings. Can we do that? So we want to teach them something, useful for the upcoming new lunar year. I tell you why I'm obsessed about training and training and training. No, you don't have it, huh? Okay, well, it's not meant to be. Forget it. Yeah, there you go. In the 42 section sutra, Shakyamuni Buddha explained. He says, giving food to 100 bad people is not good as giving food to the single good person, and so forth. And he went up the scale, bad person to good person, then the next level is good person versus person who have received 5 precepts, and then so forth. And so this is the comparative merits. If you give food to a bad person, it's not as... if you give good to a good person, it's the same as giving food to... making offerings to 100 bad people. Okay? This is philanthropy right here. Okay? People of the world, they focus on philanthropy. They say, I'm going to help a lot of poor people and lonely-hearted people and so forth. So you have to help 100 of them to have the equivalent in blessings of helping one good person. So 100 to 1 scale, multiplier. Now, if you go from a good person to a person who holds the 5 precepts, okay, that's it's about 1,000. So it's tenfold of a good person. Is that clear? Does it stop there? No. It goes further. You go to the first stage Arhat, then that's another 10 times of a person who received the 5 precepts. You see how a multiplier of 10 is humongous in our world, by the way. Okay? And then from the first stage Arhat to the second stage Arhat, which quite a few of you have certified to, it's another 100 times. Okay? And then to third stage Arhat, which some of you also certified to this year, it's another 10, factor of 10. Fourth stage Arhat, another factor of 10, okay, compared to the previous one. So far, so good. And of course, this year too, quite a few of you also certified to 4th stage Arhats. Pratika Buddha, we ignore it. I don't like them for some reason. I like the Dharma they practice, but I don't like to get there. Okay. So we skip this. When you go to the Buddha, that's another factor of 10 or 100 over the fourth stage Arhat, and then, and so forth. Excuse me. You see, so you look at the actual net effect is a humongous. So that's why when you improve, then the people who help you, make offerings to you, the blessings increase at a scale that's unimaginable. Okay, and that's, to us, how we get rich. Is that clear? So that's why I am more interested in training you. The emphasis for me personally is about training, and I'm very pleased that there's so many of you have improved at various levels, depending on your how much time, how much effort you can afford to invest in your spiritual pursuit. But it's to the point where this year here, it's across the board. There's no discrimination at all. Whether it's women or men, short people, tall people, children, elderly people, even old people have improving as well. Have improved as well. Gray people, and so forth. Gray-haired people, as well as no-hair people, and so forth. Okay, so I'm very pleased, and so this is thanks to your hard work. I'm grateful for that. You worked very hard, and you took the Dharma seriously. All right. In order to avoid coming across as bragging, because I do like to brag every now and then, but the rest of you, if you look back at this past lunar year, what is it we've done you think that's significant as our contribution to society? Oh, that much, huh? Oh, it's a very significant contribution. Yeah? Yes, Master Old Abbot, number 2.
A Di Đà Phật. Sẵn Thầy nói về vấn đề bố thí cúng dường, thì ở đây con xin chia sẻ với đại chúng là cái bằng chứng và cái phước báo cúng dường nó tới rõ ràng, chứ không phải ở trong sách nói hay là hồi xưa Đức Phật tại thế. Mà cái này con kinh nghiệm cái chuyến đi Việt Nam kỳ rồi. Vào đầu tháng 11 November thì cái chùa của sư bà Pháp Đạt đó, lễ Katrina cúng dường 4 vị tăng, y áo và tứ sự cúng dường. Người ta mời con tham dự là 5 vị tăng. Thì trong như Thầy dạy, trong cái số đó con nhìn ra được 1 vị tăng già Nam Tông mà đã đắc A-la-hán rồi. Thì sao Thầy dạy con nhìn gì đó con nhận ra được. Thì con cũng vô tư cúng dường hết 4 vị đó. Thì ngày hôm sau, tại cái chùa đó xá lợi rơi ra rất là nhiều. Thì ông trụ trì ông lấy ông cho con. Và trong đó rất là mầu nhiệm là có một cái pháp khí bằng ngọc. Cái tay số 5 của 42 thủ nhãn của mình nó rơi ra đó. Bằng ngọc hẳn hoi luôn. Mà cái đó Nam Tông họ không có biết đó là pháp khí của Bắc Tông mình, của 42 thủ nhãn. Thì cái ông trụ trì ông đem hết, ông cho con. Ông nói mới ngày hôm qua rơi ra tôi cho thầy hết nè. Ông đâu có biết đó để làm cái gì đâu. Mà mình nhìn biết. Rất là đẹp bằng ngọc. Rồi sau đó con lên Cô Trúc. Thì cổ cúng 80 cái y cho 80 vị tăng, nhưng mà người ta bữa đó người ta tới 100 vị. Hôm tháng 7 năm rồi á, thì thiếu 20 phần. Thì khi cổ nói phone với một ai gọi lại đó, cổ nói còn thiếu 20 phần nữa. Thì con nghe, con nói bây giờ 20 phần nữa chưa cúng. Tại sao mình không nhân cơ hội này mình cúng dùng vô 20 phần này cho lễ Katina cho 20 vị này. Thì con vừa nghĩ xong là rơi xá lợi xuống 3 lần luôn. Xá lợi Mani rất là đẹp. Mình vừa nghĩ xong là rơi giống như mình tắt đèn nó nhanh như vậy. Lượm xong rơi tiếp 3 lần luôn. Thì rõ ràng như thầy giảng là cái pháp bố thí cúng dường á, nó có bằng chứng chứ không phải nghe trong sách thời đâu, hồi Đức Phật hay trong kinh Địa Tạng cúng tín nữ Bà La Môn, cúng A La Hán. Thời này thế kỷ 21 vẫn xảy ra như thường. Con xin hết.
Emitofuo Master, using this opportunity, like what you said about the blessings of making offering and giving, I would like to share a story about offering. So during my experience going back to Thailand in November, I attended the Katina. It is an offering to the monk and then after I forgot the word, I'm sorry. So we make offering, 4 kinds of offering to the monks and nuns. And at that time, there's 4 Hinayana monks. And just like Master said, I attend, so this is 5. I recognize one of the old monk is a 4th-stage arhat, and I just make offering without discrimination. The next day, the relics at that temple fall down a lot, and the abbot collecting it and give everything all to me. And one of the relics in there is very special. It's it's one of the weapon of the 42 hands and eyes. The Hinayana persuasion does not recognize what it is, but I understand that that one is one of the 42 hands and eyes. So then it's very beautiful. And the next thing is Cô Chúc.
You have it? Do you still have that Vajra thing? Is it here?
Bây giờ ở phòng con nhận về con lấy qua.
You want to go get it, show it to them? To show this is was appeared, and he was making the offering. Appeared from nowhere. Okay, and we can go into silent bidding a little bit later. If you're interested in a priceless thing. Yeah, continue.
So then I also make, after that month, I also make Cô Chúc, make offering to 80 more monks, and then in that time there's 20 monks that is missing, so I brought forth of a mind of making offering as well. So after making offering, the relics fall down 3 times. And it is like Master said about the blessing, making offering to others, not just like what Shakyamuni Buddha say is happening here as well at this time in 21st century.
That's it?
That's all I can retain, Master.
Okay, thank you. I don't remember. Okay. Anyone else who'd like to say anything else? What is that you think we accomplished the past year or so? That's significant to you. What are you thinking? Let me tell you, my master, when Master YongHua died, he left instruction for his next generation, my generation, to do 3 things: education, training, the young people, the new ones, and the lower level ones. And what else? Translation. And it stuck in my mind. I said, we're supposed to do that in my generation. So that's our assignments. But fortunately for me, I'm not a direct descendant. That's for the Hung disciples, not for me. I'm not a Hung disciples generation. And maybe his disciple, but haven't been ordained as a Hung disciple. And but I look at that, and so I always gauge my generation as to if that's what his proposed standards for accomplishments. I always look at that and see what is it we're supposed to do. And I feel that the results are actually abysmal, personally. If I were a corporation, if I were real world, I would fire all of them. Very much like if it were real world, I would have fired Master Xianjie a long time ago. He would never have a second chance. I'm that kind of person. Okay, you don't perform, I cut your legs off. Lucky for him, I'm very patient as I became a left home person. But there's no excuses. If we're given an assignment, either you can do it or you don't. And it's concrete measurements. Okay, how many people have we trained? Okay, my answer, the answer is for third generation is 0. How many more books we translated in my generation? Very little. Have we advanced the level of translation? No, actually it's gone downhill. Maybe the semantics is better, but the depth is actually went down because the wisdom was not developed. Actually, the wisdom decreased. And number 3, what about education? Education for children, I don't see children. I see children becoming robots because they're so scared of children getting in trouble. And what about people the scholars? Have we produced any scholars who understand Mahayana better? Please show them, huh? Master Old Monk, show them what you got, what was offered to you. Dos.
Cái này là tại tôi sợ động đất nó rớt, nó bể. Cho tôi mắc cái nắp quấn ở trong, sợ nó động đất rớt bể. Cái này vô giá không có tiền nào mua được. Cho tôi phải lựa cái ống plastic cho nó mềm. Làm như vậy nó có rớt, động đất rớt không bể.
Look at that. That's actually a Dharma instrument for hands and eye number 5. Look at that. Did we find out what it's made of? It looks like crystal, huh? Look at cheap crystal. Cheap crystal. Have Professor Jane take a look. I'm curious because it's expensive. The price is a little bit higher, starting price. Let me show her around. Let them show her.
Tôi thỉnh cái tượng Phật đen giống vậy đó. Thì tôi gửi cho cái chùa này 3 ngày nó sinh ra. Sinh xá lợi ra. Khi mà tôi nhặt cái xá lợi nhỏ tôi bỏ trong bọc đó, thì cái này nó hiện xúc bên, không có tiếng động, không gì. Mình thấy mà xung quanh tôi không có ai hết đó, để mà mình nghi người khác để vô. Lúc tôi đang nhặt tôi bỏ trong cái bọc đó, thì tôi thử luôn, thấy cái này nó có cái năng lượng nó lên.
Thầy cho dịch tiếng Anh.
Rồi dịch tiếng Anh thì Khải dịch tiếng Anh.
Chưa.
Number 5 is I was afraid that the earthquake is going to break, so I put it in a plastic bag and I wrapped it up with a lot of cloth. And the second one, I carry it appear 3 days after I left the leg-like statue at the temple, and it give birth to these relics. It just appear. I trying to collect everything, and it's quietly just show up.
Thì cái tượng đen tôi thỉnh như vậy đó, tôi gửi cái chùa đó 3 bữa, thì xá lợi sinh ra rất nhiều trên cái bàn tay Đức Phật nữa. Và cái này khi mà tôi nhặt lên đó, thì nó hiện lên, lúc tôi đang nhặt nó hiện lên. Này xá lợi toàn thân. Thì quý vị thấy cái lực của nó đẩy lên, cái này quay nè.
Don't move the head.
So this
Shake so
whole
much.
Nó bắt cái energy nó quay. Cái này hồi xưa tôi trong đi học á, tôi thử một cái hình trên báo đăng thôi, 5-6 người đứng chung á, mình thử mình lấy đồ mình che con mắt lại, mình hỏi cái này nữ cái nào nam nó trả lời được á. Mỗi cái hình ảnh nó có cái energy khác nhau. Ví dụ tôi nói nữ thì nó quay như vậy, mà nam thì nó quay như vậy. Mình ra cái rô thì mình để lên nó quay, nó trả lời cho mình biết. Ngay cả cái hình.
So just I'm curious. Can you hang on? Okay. The next left home person disciple, is it a man or a woman? Find out. This year.
Come from the air. You know, when I was in Low Mountain, after the exhibition, everyone gone. I stay alone in the room. So I hold the whole Dasira with my pendant, but from the stone, not this. I asked Buddha, how about my cultivation? It good like that? If not good like this, it always turn around. And 6 months later, I forget. I come to the attic, I ask again, doesn't move. So it makes me wait for 30 minutes. All the hot on the attic, so hot. So Buddha, I apologize. I forget I asked what before. Please answer me again and answer again. If you yes like that, if you no like that, answer.
So try the monk or nun. Try the monk or nun. Next one, next disciple. Is that a monk or a nun? Way Mountain, go ahead. We're going to wait for the results. Monk is what? Monk is round or woman is round?
Master, speaking of the accomplishment, I could have think one thing is last year, the first time in our DTT, we host the relics exhibit.
So is it monk or woman? It's round or it's circling? Is it monk or round? Is a yang or a yin?
I found a missing student in Calculator. She missing in 1996. I attend the first year in 1999, I mean 3 years later. When I work in the yard, the newspaper fly to my leg. So I look at the picture and the line under that. I asked, do you want me to help? She said yes.
That's a yes?
Yeah.
So yes.
If you say yes like that, you will say no like
yes,
this.
Yes, is man or woman?
That's a woman student. Yes. And she let me go out about 1 mile away in the jungle. Find her course. And
Never
at least
mind.
he told me that.
Okay. Yeah.
They
We
bury
don't
her
discriminate.
in the house.
It could be an it.
So I stopped the seeking because if I find out, the man will be killed too. So I stopped. And last year, the police found the evidence under the mobile home. They use the chemical, they test it, but they not had the cause yet. They arrest the father and the son. She led me to the house, but I stopped it because if I find out, the guy died too. And at least last year, I asked Master, I paid for the plaque for the Pure Land for her, for that student in San Luis about 2 hours from south of this. I asked Master make the Pure Land plaque for her.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Promise I help her. So that's why Master make the plaque. I feel so good. I'm done my job. I'm not owe her anymore.
Okay, thank you. So I pass it around for them to see. Okay? Yeah. Touch it. Yeah. Yes, 8.
Master, Emily is asking if we can zoom in to see the relic.
Can we zoom in and take a closer look at that thing? Why zoom in? Just bid for it.
Okay, I will relay the message.
Okay. Okay, anyway, time is short. So I'm always mindful of Master YongHua's instructions for my generation. I may not be a direct descendant, but I feel somewhat responsible to shoulder the burden. So what am I doing? The way I look at it is that I don't think he gave them instructions how to do it properly. I interpret all his 3 directives, 3 measurements. You can do them by the principal requirement would be the people to do it. The people to train the next generation, people to do translation, people to handle education. And that's why I feel that he forgot to tell them that the first thing really for my generation is to train. To train people, both left-home people and lay people, so that it's you who will be doing all this. Okay? Education, teaching the next generation, and what is the third one? Translation as well. Okay? All right. So that's why I never lost focus about that. I hope we continue to do that, meaning that I hope you continue to improve. And then it's important for your generation to help train the next generation as well, because many of you are already better than your teachers, my master's disciples in particular. And in particular, also, we been to Korea. We have couple of way places in Korea the last 2 or 3 years. And Korean disciples have been improving steadily. It's very good. Actually, I'm very pleased with their progress. Tremendous potential there. They're improving a lot quicker than their current system of training over there. And I expect them to be better than their teachers, all of their teachers. You do have that potential. It's possible. Okay? So I can't wait for that to happen. Okay? All right, so time is short. Any last comments before we stop and go right into a lunch offering and the life-lengthening transference? No? Okay, yes, sir. Number 9.
I learned Buddhist literature mostly from Vietnamese language. When I came and listened to your teaching, there are a lot of English. So I wonder if I could use note to write down during your teaching session. Is it okay to do that, or you prefer us to just listen? Thank you, Master.
Translation quickly.
Master, he speak English.
Oh. What's your name again? Sorry. You feel free to do whatever you wish. You can take notes, you can take a recording, you can play without video, and so forth. Excuse me.
Khi mà người ta cúng 80 vị tăng á, lễ Katina tôi nói hồi nãy đó. Sinh ra mà tôi về Việt Nam mà đã cho người khác rồi. Mà tôi hỏi nó đi vòng vòng đi tới tự động nó tới tay tôi. Người ta kiếm người ta cho tôi.
So this relic was born in the clothes that I make offering during Katina. And that relic has been given to different persons. Somehow it got back to me eventually.
Okay. In fact, speaking of the Vietnamese, for example, one of the knocks I have against my master's teaching and training is that I find that his Vietnamese disciples are very, very low level. I don't understand it. I know he does not discriminate against Vietnamese or against any sorts of people. He's beyond discrimination. He has zero discrimination. And I don't understand why his Vietnamese disciples are so low, incredibly low. It's like a farce to me. I'm offended by that. It's not because they're inferior. They're people, you all have the Buddha nature, meaning that you all have tremendous potential. Just need to be given a chance, need to be taught properly. I don't know why they don't make it. They didn't make it. They still don't. Okay? And so that's why the Vietnamese translation of his Dharma, the translation of his Dharma into Vietnamese really, really sucks. There's no other way to describe it. And that's why when you Vietnamese people who are much better than even the Caucasians and so forth, and the Chinese and so forth, maybe you should bring forth the resolve to translate our instruction, his instructions into Vietnamese. Maybe because the Vietnamese translation really, really bad. I don't know. But to me, it's unacceptable. Same thing, you Koreans, for example, as you improve, you should revisit the Korean translation. This is why people are stuck in your language, in your culture, because of the lack of proper and superior training technology in your culture, in your language. Okay, so this is why, to me, it feels like he missed the mark a little bit by giving them instructions and not telling them what to do. They are incapable of doing proper translation. And this is not a criticism. It's just my assessment of the facts. I may be wrong, okay? But it has been the case for 25 years now, since the master died. No improvement. Actually, not only are we talking about lacking improvement, but actually regression. When you're improving, his disciples are regressing. Something is wrong. So that's why, unless you do something in your generation, it's not going to change. So I leave it up to you. Okay? Bring forth a bigger heart. And that's how you improve a lot quicker. By contributing to society, by helping others. Because if all you can think of is yourself, the rest of your life will be more miserable. That's all. Food for thought. Thank you, everyone. Okay, let's do the lunch offering. Master O. Abbott will host this session. Okay?